We're going to do a market watch on 5 veteran wide receivers for Dynasty Fantasy Football, and today's theme is very cheap wide receivers that you can get for basically free in trade that you may want to play money ball with. We're going to go over their market values. We're going to go over their future production, their scheme, their fit with their team, their situation, and then you can decide whether or not you want to make that money ball play with that wide receiver or back away, whatever you want to do. But what you need to do right now is click that subscribe button, because we're helping you build your Dynasty Fantasy Football teams every single day. Whether it's rookie highlight clips or it's looking at the market, we're here for you. Click that button, stop missing out. But we're starting off with Jaylen Hyatt. We're going to start things off right. Wide receiver, 84 on the ADP, pushing the ADP 200. We got Malik Nabers. Malik Nabers should be pushing a 30% target share in this offense. I do not see why not. He should be getting spammed. He should be getting all the targets. Jaylen Hyatt, an interesting money ball play here at the wide receiver spot if you want to do that at wide receivers. Before I dig in more to this video, I also want to say this. Typically, I build my teams around wide receivers. Like in the startup draft, it's wide receiver heavy, so I do not usually have to money ball wide receivers too much. It's usually with the running backs. So usually what I'm saying here is I'm not trying to sell you on these players, but I'm just giving you ideas of what to do or what not to do given the information here and what you like. Back to Jaylen Hyatt though. What could make him like a guy you're trying to catch as a throw-in in a trade, or a guy you're like, I don't like what's on the board on the 4th round? How can I leverage this to a player that could maybe sneak me a win in week 6? How could I do that? I got a best ball league. What can I do here? One thing you can look at is that ADOT. Look how crazy that is. 20.7 average depth of target. 2.4 targets per game. 23.9% share of the air yards. They're going to push him deep. He's going to get opportunities deep. And he has 2 games of double-digit PPR scoring. It was his rookie season. It started off slow. And the Giants' wide receiver depth chart is just log-jammed with slot receivers. Last year it was. Now we're adding in Malik Nabers. Darnell Robinson is good, and he's going to command some targets. There's not going to be that many targets to go around to make him consistent. So you got to think about it in this light. Do you need a wide receiver on the back end of your roster that has the potential to increase in value due to his ability to get the deep ball and get those splash plays? Because you're going to have Malik Nabers on the other side. He's not going to be accounted for. That's what he's known for from Tennessee, is getting those deep balls. That's what we saw in that Alabama game during his final year in college, was splash plays. And now he does not have to be the lead guy. He's not looked upon to be that. He's got Nabers there. Things are looking good. And the one thing we can say about Hyatt during the middle part of the season last year, if you look at ADP, if you look at the chart there, you see that hump up. That means there was some interest in him due to what was going on with the style play. I won't say his play, but the style play with a 20.7 ADOT. People were speculating him off the waiver wire because of those deep targets. He was also running a decent route participation rate during that time. And if that continues, and we see that on the spreadsheets, and he's running hot on the workload metrics on the spreadsheets, that means he's going to gain steam just due to him being a speculative asset, because he could be a guy that gives you some spike weeks, a la Will Fuller. But it's not a prediction. It never is when you're wide receiver 84. But that's something to look at if you're looking at a guy like Jaylen Hyatt. Adam Thielen is still alive. Even though we got Deontay Johnson, he had a 26% target share last year. And the market knows he's old. We all know he's old. Wide receiver 85, pushing ADP 200, 8.4 targets per game. Say with Deontay Johnson there, that goes down to like 6 or 7. It's still okay considering the price. Older wide receiver, but you want the production now. If you want that, and you want to play some money ball for this year, cheap get. I think targets will still go his way to some capacity. You're looking at the back half of the season, not the front half, because that's probably more realistic for this year. You're seeing some games here with double-digit production, and some of them like 9 and 8. Could you live with that with wide receiver 85 price tag? Could you live with a wide receiver averaging 9 to 10 PPR fantasy points per game, on the back end of your roster as a guy that you're using when the injury bug hits? Could you use that for the cheap? Like, could you sell off a wide receiver that's got a little value right now that you're not totally in love with, gain some picks, pick him up somehow, and you're still getting like 90% of that production anyways that wide receiver would have got you, and now you got picks for the future. You can get more flexibility in drafts, pick up players, whatever, in season, and you're not missing out too much production. Plus, you're probably going to get a splash week here and there. Could you do that? Could you do that? That's something else you could look at. That's another strategy here. 1,000 yards last year, 4 touchdowns. I mean, he might get 1,000. It might be a little less than that. He is getting older. Deontay Johnson there. They picked up Xavier Legette. 4 touchdowns last year. I could go up or go down. I might probably hover somewhere around there. But again, around 9, 10 points a game. And you're selling off a wide receiver that gets 11, 12 points per game. Maybe you want to do that move. I don't know. It's whatever you want to do. But I'm throwing strategies out there. Again, he's an older wide receiver. You don't really want him if you're rebuilding. But you may want to if you're rebuilding because you might be able to sell him for a little bit more in season and gain some picks. It's however you want to do it. You got to think ahead. Darnell Mooney, wide receiver 89. Wide receiver 89, ADP 203. That's going to go up. That's going to go up between now and the start of the season. Look at the start of his career. Look at the last 2 years. We have some injuries in there. We had that Justin Fields experience. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the ADOT from back in that time. Look at all that. 10.5 ADOT. Probably would have been higher. They pushed it more downfield. You can't even look at his stats. They're not real. They're not going to be comparable to what he's going to be seeing in Atlanta. Of course, we got Drake London. Of course, we got Kyle Pitts. La Don Don is what I got spelled there. But Bijan Robinson is there. So not many targets to go around. Darnell Mooney, though, very talented wide receiver, can get downfield, can break off routes. Big upgrade to what they had previously. Got Rondell Moore there. They're getting some speed. This is going to be a track meet team. You got Kirk Cousins there, spreading the football around. You're not going to buy him at wide receiver 89 range. Maybe even a little bit more than that. Maybe you want to speculate to that. You know you're going to get some spike weeks. That's what you're hoping for. You know it's not going to be consistent. Drake London should be the man there. He should be the man this year. But what if Kirk Cousins wants to spread it around a little bit? What if they put safeties over top of Drake London? What if they buzz over there? You got to go to Darnell Mooney. What if that happens in a couple games? You're in a best ball league. Darnell Mooney is the guy to look at. He sure is. He's going to be stretched downfield. He's going to be running some 9 routes, some deep skinny posts. They're going to be pushing him, allowing Drake London to be underneath a little bit while getting him downfield. Darnell Mooney there, separating things out, getting vertical, allow Bijan Robinson to operate a little bit better. That means some targets are going to go his way. That means the ADOT's going to go up. That means he's going to get some deep shots. Deep shots mean money ball plays. Money ball plays mean sometimes those are going to hit. He's going to have some splash games here and there. Wide receiver 89, around 200 ADP. At that price point, free. He's free. He's free. And you want to get all these players for free. You always want to buy guys cheaper than advertised. You want to buy guys cheaper than ADP. There's guys who will take at ADP or pay up for. But ultimately, everybody you want cheaper than ADP. You want to have that miser mindset. You could possibly catch him as a throw-in. 5th round pick. Pick up a guy off waivers maybe that's a little trendy. Flip it. Whatever. Whatever you got to do. It's your league. Demarcus Robinson. Look at the chart right down here below me in production there. That could transition to this year in just a few different ways. One, a Puka Cup gets injured, or he just runs more routes, gets more opportunities, and there's just some games they lean on him a little bit more. The fact that he's wide receiver 94, saw some opportunities on the back 9, very trendy pickup in redraft. The redraft streets are hard on him. Long career, though, and the market's kind of up compared to where he was at long term. Demarcus Robinson, wide receiver 94, ADP 220. In shallower leagues, he's not even getting drafted. He's getting thought of as nothing, afterthought. That being said, you look at that, you're trying to make a money ball play. Maybe he's on waivers. Maybe you can sell a guy get a 3rd round pick, 4th round pick. You're probably not going to want to start anyways. You're just hoping you get those picks, you pick him up, and you get 90%, 80% of his production. And you know what? You're good to go. You're good to go. Maybe you can make that move and start stacking chips for 2025, 2026, and beyond. Trey Palmer, wide receiver 98, ADP 228, 230 range. 230 range. Again, deep ball city with this guy. 4.3 speed. Mike Evans goes down. He is old. He is old. Old guys break. That could happen. That's not a prediction. That's just real life. And then look at him in season. Look at him in season with the ADP. The market loved him. The market wanted him. It started going up in September, October, November. And then it went down. And it's going to go down a little bit more because of McMillan. McMillan could steal some gusto. That's part of it. McMillan's more expensive right now. Trey Palmer's free. He's free. He might even be sitting on waivers in your league right now because it's a little bit more shallow. The thing about him, deep ball dandy, and Baker Mayfield pushes it downfield. Say if Evans goes down, Trey Palmer is going to get some 9 routes, some deeper targets. That could allow him to be a splash play. Splash plays gives you splash upside in production, which is something you may want, especially in best ball. Especially if you're trying to play money ball with the back end of your roster. Say you're running back heavy and you need an extra wide receiver or two that you're just praying for. Or you want to sell off a few of your middle wide receivers, consolidate, while picking up X production or taking a gamble or a speculation. Million different reasons here. That's why no one's a buy or sell. I'm trying to teach strategy with every player and try to talk about strategies with these players to give you ideas of what to do. And those strategies with Trey Palmer could lead you to another strategy with another player. It's not all in a vacuum, but Trey Palmer, wide receiver 98, he's free right now. Deep ball city. McMillan's going to steal some gusto. Possibly, maybe not, but he's deep ball city. What I'm saying that, air yards, 41.2 air yards a game with Evans and Godwin taking up targets. 14.8% share of the air yards, but remember, Evans eats air yards for breakfast. That being said, Trey Palmer, something happens to those veterans, he's going to be stretched out like your mom. That's what I'm trying to say there. And those wide receivers are splash plays. Those are the ones you want to chase in season, off waivers and redraft and dynasty. And on top of that, they are the money ball plays for best ball. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.